think Lauren might kill me. And I'm so tired of this. Was so good. I said no. I am in my fantasy era right now and I devoured it. Hey, hi. I don't know when this video is going to come up, but it'll probably be up sometime in mid-December. It is currently now the beginning of December, and I decided to do my 10 before the end, or as some people would like to call it, the December TBR. I actually originally got the idea from Ellen at the Ellen Made Book Club because I don't know why. I didn't realize that 10 to the end, when you make it in December, it's just your December TBR. It never clicked until her video, and so today I am doing my December TBR, the 10 before the end, maybe delulu, maybe not. So I know Maria Andrea called her list a little bit of a delusional TBR. I'm gonna call mine maybe delulu, maybe not. Since on average, I do read approximately 10 to 15 books a month, but at the end of October, end of November, and a little bit in December, so today's December 5th, I haven't been reading much, guys. I am in a little bit of a reading slump. I am currently a professional farming simulator gal. I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley and Fields of Mystria, so I haven't been reading as much as I did in the previous months. And also, I'm feeling a little bit of a reading burnout, especially since I had a little bit of a lower average read in October and November. Hopefully, that all changed this month. And I'm gonna be real honest, guys. My 10 before the end, my December TBR, I technically already finished one of the book and I devoured it. I finished it in 2 days, quick as possible, and I gave it 5 stars. So we are off to a really strong start. I'm gonna stop my yapping here and we're gonna tackle the physical portion of my December TBR slash 10 before the end. So the first book I have here for you all is the third book of the Percy Jackson series. I think there's 5 or 6 books total in the whole saga, and this is a middle grade book following Percy Jackson, the son of Poseidon. I originally started this as a buddy read with my husband, but it's been months. I've given him literally months at this point to read the second book, and I don't think he's gonna ever read it. And because I've already purchased the book, I'm going to try to finish off the series. So by the end of this year, I want to finish the third book in the series. So this is on my December TBR. Is it the highest priority? Probably not, but I think this should be a really quick and fast read for me. So the next book I have here is A Promise of Peridot. This is the second book in the Sacred Stones trilogy. I read the first one, A Dawn of Onyx, maybe in March. So it has been quite a bit, and at this point, I do believe the trilogy is completed. I pre-ordered this book and it arrived whenever it was published. So that was April 2024. So did I read the first book in 2023? I don't remember all the details, but I got Jesse into the series and unfortunately I did not continue on with it. I was really in my contemporary and historical romances. I didn't dabble much into fantasy romance until later on at the end of this year. So I'm gonna try to continue on with the Sacred Stones trilogy, especially since I have the physical copy on hand, and hopefully it is good. I think Jessie liked the second book and it was the last book that she didn't really like, which I am scared for. I really wish it wasn't just a trilogy but a saga, because I feel like the world could definitely have a lot more details and stuff added onto it. So I'm excited, but I'm also scared of how everything's gonna get wrapped up. I know that the ending of A Dawn of Onyx, I still remember it very clearly with what happened, and I'm so excited to see how everything's going to play out with this newfound knowledge and hopefully more backstory on our female protagonist. So the next read is technically on my 10 to the end December TBR, and it is Fredrik Backman's Beartown, but I have already finished this book. I finished it in less than 48 hours. This book was so good, so fantastic. I love how in-depth the characters are. I love how well built this Beartown and this world is and the setting was. I love how he was able to use hockey as a driving vehicle and a driving force to talk about really heavy topics and very dark topics and have us questioning the right and wrongs, morality, justice, all that good stuff. This was amazing. I had it on my TBR because I wanted to participate in Ellen May's book club. I think she was reading this in October, and then we read Us Against You in November, and December is the third and final book of this trilogy. This was so good. I cannot believe I waited this long to read it. It was amazing. It was fantastic. The audiobook was fantastic. I already want to do a reread because that's how good it was. I want to just go back and have specific colors for specific characters, because in this book, we follow perspectives of everybody in town. And I just want to have a better and clearer timeline and mind map of how everything played out, how one action kind of toppled over the next set of actions and caused this domino effect. I am so excited that the next book on my delulu TBR for December is going to be Us Against You by Fredrik Backman. So it's going to be the second book in the series. I would have put the third book on this December TBR as well if it wasn't for the fact that I saw how big that book was on Chelsea's channel, and I said nope, I'm not gonna do it because I already have some very heavyweight lifter for this month. I'm trying to be realistic, okay? I don't think I will officially be able to finish it by the end of December, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the first books I read in January for sure. So that makes it book 4 for my 10 before the end. So again, Beartown is actually technically already completed, and the second book to the trilogy is going to be read as part of my December TBR, and that put us at currently 4 books. Now the very last book I have to wrap up all the physical books that I will be reading. Well, I guess Us Against You isn't going to be physical because I don't have the book with me right now, and I think I'm going to end up borrowing it from the library. We have one more book from Fredrik Backman that's on my December TBR / 10 before the end. It is going to be Anxious People. Now this is originally a recommendation from Jessie, and I don't really remember anything about her recommendation, but I remember she read it in a reading vlog and she absolutely loved this book, and I've heard only great things about Fredrik Backman, and from reading Beartown I can see why. So I'm really excited to see what kind of themes, ideas, and morals he has to say in this book, how he's going to portray it, how he's going to write it in. I don't know anything about the synopsis or the plot of the book. I think I'm just gonna go in it blind. I thought it was about a robbery of some sort, and then the people in the robbery gets to know one another and we learn about their backstory and history. So I think that's what it's about, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm just excited to find out. And I think that concludes every single physical book I have on hand that I'm planning to read for December. Okay, so in fact, those are not the only physical books I have on hand that I'm planning to read for December. Honestly, I'm so bad at this. I just reread my list. I have a sticky note of all the books, and I forgot about 2 books. So the very first one is going to be The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough. I talked about this in ATBR probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and I am about, I don't even know how far I'm in. I'm probably like 40 or 50 pages so into this book, and I just want to finish it before the end of the year. I'm actually not really invested in this book. I don't know why I'm so determined to finish it, but I'm gonna give it to around the 100 page mark. And if I really don't like it, I think I'm gonna end up just DNFing it completely and donating it to a free little library or some sort. And the next book is technically not this book, but I don't have it on hand because I still need to pick it up at the bookstore since I pre-ordered it. But it's going to be the 6th volume of The Seventh Loop Villainess. If you guys have been around here for some time, you know that The Seventh Loop Villainess is actually one of the books or one of the light novels that got me really back into reading. So I'm continuing to support it by pre-ordering the books. I haven't read the 6th volume manga edition, so this is the manga edition that I'm getting, and I'm just planning to breeze through it when I receive it. I like to finish all the books I have on hand as soon as possible so I can just get it out of the way. Alright, I think that's everything that I'm going to have physically to read for December, except for I guess Us Against You by Fredrik Backman. But the next book I'm going to be reading in December, and I actually have already started, is The Burning God, which is the 3rd book in the Poppy War trilogy. And I am so scared, y'all. I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know, and I don't see any good way for everything to end. I just want Rin and Nezha to be happy. Genuinely, it's like the truest form of enemies to lovers, or like, I don't even know if you can even say enemies to lovers. Do not go into this book looking for love. I'm squinting. I'm squinting and grasping and making stuff up for the romance because this is the burning and yearning and tension that I want in an enemies to lovers, like a really true enemies to lovers. But I'm so scared. I don't think there's any romance in this, but I really want there to be some. But I also don't know how it would work in the trilogy, but I'm scared. I started the 3rd book and I'm about 4% in. It's like a really thick book. The audiobook for it is 24 hours long. Ridiculous, I know, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I really enjoyed the 2nd book. The 2nd book just had me on a roller coaster of emotion, and I just didn't know what to expect and what I'm going to get next. I don't know what the 3rd book is going to be about, but it's probably gonna be about politics and policies and war and everything of the 2 first books combined. And I'm so excited and I'm so scared, and I have already gotten started on it. So the next read I have in mind is also another fantasy book. I am in my fantasy era right now, and it is going to be Iron Flame, which is going to be the second book of the Empyrean Saga, aka Fourth Wing's second book. And y'all, I love the dragons, the magic, the world, the politics in Fourth Wing, and I absolutely cannot wait to see how that progresses and how all that plays with each other in the second book. I just really hope the romance gets better because I'm actually not a fan of the Fourth Wing romance. It feels a little bit bland to me. I feel like it's very love at first sight, physical attraction, which isn't something that I hate, but I just personally don't feel like they have any chemistry together. Like everything I've heard in Violet's mind about Xaden is how hot he is, and I'm so tired of it. Girl, talk to your dragon. I'm so tired of you talking about Xaden. It's a little bit harsh coming from a romance girly, but I'm just so much more invested in the dragons and the politics at play. I'm so invested in the world and how they work with one another, like how this current empire that they're in is able to seclude themselves from the outside world. Like I am interested in that. I am invested in that. Your attraction, your physical attraction to Xaden, not so much. Now, the very last book on my December TBR, or the book that I am determined to read before the year end, is One for My Enemy. This is because 100% Lauren says that is her current favorite book of 2024, and I want to see if this book is able to top all the other books I talk about and fight its way to being first on my 2024. One for My Enemy has received tons and tons of great reviews from booktubers that I watch religiously, such as Lauren, Jessie, and Rebecca, and I am so excited to delve into this world. I am so excited to read this book, and I want to join in on the hype. I want to know why they love it so much. So for that fact, One for My Enemy is on my December TBR, and it will be read before this year end. Mark my words. Do I even have the slightest clue as to what that book is about? Absolutely not. Honestly, from my 10 to the end list, there's about 3 books in this list that I feel like are top contenders for being best book of the year. We have One for My Enemy, the next one is going to be Anxious People, and the very last one is going to be The Burning God, which is the third book of the trilogy. As of right now, I don't know what book is my favorite of 2024 yet, but I have hopes, I have high expectations, and I'm hoping One for My Enemy will live up to the expectation and the dreams. If not, I think Lauren might kill me. I'm just kidding. Lauren, don't actually kill me. I might be hyping myself up a lot for this book, but the thing with me is that I can really just disconnect from the hype and the reading it since I don't really recall and remember things very clearly. That's not a good thing. I have a really bad memory, but I just need to know that some of my favorite booktubers enjoy this book. I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna end up enjoying this book. So that is it from my 10 before the end, the books I want to finish before December ends. I am pretty positive. I think things are looking really good right now. I'm pretty confident in being able to finish all of these books, especially since all these books are pretty highly rated books that I'm anticipating to be around a 4-star or higher, which is going to be an amazing reading month, which I genuinely need, especially since how slow I've been reading in the past 2 months. And I think that about wraps up my December TBR. Leave me a comment down below guessing which book is going to end up being my favorite for the month of December. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this video here. If you guys want to know what book ends up being my favorite book of 2024, definitely make sure to subscribe to follow me on my bookish journey, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!